Debate. I recognize the member for London West.
Thank you very much. I am delighted to rise today in support of the motion that was brought forward by my colleague, the member for University-Rosedale, to require the government to match municipal operating subsidies for public transit. I want to speak today from the perspective of Londoners. Speaker, when the previous government of Mike Harris was in power in Ontario, they chose to cut government operating funding for transit. This had a devastating impact on our transit system in my community. By 1997, ridership was 32% lower than it had been just 7 years earlier. It was not until 2006 that ridership returned to the 1990 levels. And Speaker, there are very real concerns in my community that the combination of the increased fares that the London Transit Commission will have to impose, the services that will have to be cut, this once again has the potential to completely, upend the transit options in London. London has lost $10 million because of this government's decision to cancel the doubling of the gas tax. As of January 2020, London Transit riders are going to see overall a 15% increase in fares. The city has directed all agencies, boards and commissions to limit their budget asks to a 1% increase. For the case of London Transit Commission, they need a 20% increase just to maintain current levels of service, which we know are not meeting the needs of people in London. And I heard the member across the way talk about the importance of transit to employment, and certainly that is a huge concern in my community. In 2015, the Employment Sector Council, an umbrella organization of agencies that provide employment services, found that 2/3 of the clients that they served missed job opportunities because their worksite was not on a bus route. 2/3 said they weren't able to get to work on time because of lack of access to the bus route or inconsistent scheduling. 60% said they were not able to get home safely because of the current bus schedules. And Speaker, those experiences of employment services clients were echoed by employers. In 2017 and again in 2018, surveys of employers were conducted. Numerous companies in London said that poor transit service made it difficult for them to find and retain employees. Several of the companies that responded to the survey said they did not hire employees who were relying on transit because they did not feel confident that these employees would get to work on time. So this motion, Speaker, would provide that funding stability that transit services like London Transit Commission require in order to provide the reliability of services that people in London need. But finally, Speaker, I did want to also talk about Londoners' reliance on cars and also greenhouse gas emissions. And in London, we have almost a 1-to-1 ratio between the number of cars in our community and the number of adult Londoners. 50% of a household's GHG emissions are because of reliance on personal vehicles. About 1/3 of those emissions are associated with trips within the city that could be taken on public transit if we had access to a reliable transit service. Londoners want to do their part to reduce GHGs. They want to take action to address the reality of the climate emergency that we are facing in this province. But what this government is doing to transit operators like London Transit Commission is completely counter to our ability to deal with reducing DHGs. Thank you very much, Speaker.